Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Hayden Balgavy. Now at noon, a look into the investigation by Arkansas State Police after video of two Crawford County deputies using extreme force in an arrest goes viral. Plus, Sherwood police are investigating a shooting in Sherwood and are still looking for the suspect. And later, it's the first day of school, but be careful before posting those back to school pictures. We'll show you how to keep your kids safe as they head back to the classroom. And kids are on cell phones and tablets now more than ever, but when is a good time to get them a phone of their own? Well, I'll look at the new tool to help you make that decision coming up in 8 minutes. But first, let's get to meteorologist Corrales Ortiz with what we can expect the rest of the day. Probably lunchtime at all those schools. Yeah. Corrales, and you said this morning too, pack the umbrella, those rain boots. Likely chance you're going to see some rain today.
Yeah, for some across the state. If you're living in different parts of the state, you're dealing with completely different weather conditions at the moment. So let's take a live look right now at your visible satellite. To our south, we're seeing that thick cloud cover, and that's where all that rain is. But to our north, you're like, what gives? Where's all this rain? I'm looking at some sunshine right now. And it's a big cutoff between where we're seeing rain and where we're not seeing rain. A lot of that is anchored across southern Arkansas. We're seeing a few showers sprinkled across central Arkansas. It's very isolated in nature. You might see a few raindrops at this moment. We're seeing some near the River Valley, some near White County there, but right here in the metro, just a stray shower or two. It's relatively quiet. We'll see higher rain chances as the afternoon progresses at about 50% chance scattered in nature, but we do have more rain in the forecast for the upcoming week. I'll have more details on that just ahead.
All right, Corrales, thank you. Developing this afternoon, Arkansas State Police starting an investigation into the use of force used by two Crawford County deputies. Now, the incident was captured on video outside the Country Express in Mulberry. Now, we have chosen not to share that video due to the graphic nature, but if you do want to view it, you can see it on our website at thv11.com. Now, Sunday morning, two officers were caught on video beating 27-year-old Randall Worcester from South Carolina. Now, he was later transported to a local hospital where he was treated and then taken into custody for second-degree battery, resisting arrest, along with other charges. Now, Governor Asa Hutchinson said in a tweet, quote, "I have spoken with Colonel Bill Bryant of the Arkansas State Police, and the local arrest incident in Crawford County will be investigated pursuant to the video evidence and the request of the prosecuting attorney." Now, again, if you do want to view that entire video, you can just go to thv11.com. We will, of course, continue to keep you updated as we get more information. Meanwhile, closer to home, Sherwood police are in the early stages of an investigation into a shooting that involved one of their officers. We've been discussing this as we talked about it this morning as well. Now, this comes after they responded to a shots fired call early Saturday morning at the New Brittany Apartments. That's on Jacksonville Cutoff Road. Now, when they arrived, they were met by Antoine Thompson, whom authorities say shot at them as he drove away. Officers then returned fire. Police say no one was injured in that shooting, but they are still looking for Thompson, who was last seen in an older model maroon Chevrolet Tahoe. To national news, Russia is investigating an attack on a member of President Vladimir Putin's inner circle. The woman was killed Saturday night when the SUV she was driving exploded outside Moscow. The 29-year-old was the daughter of an ultranationalist who has urged the Kremlin to escalate its assault on Ukraine. Now, Russia says the bomb was intended to kill her father, but he switched vehicles at the last minute. Ukraine has denied any involvement. Basketball Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman says he intends to visit Russia to try to help WNBA star Brittany Griner get back home. Now, Griner was sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison following her conviction on drug charges earlier this month. The U.S. has been trying to negotiate a prisoner swap. And today is the first day back in school for most of the state here in Arkansas. Now, we know lots of parents are excited to share those first day of school pictures all over Facebook, Instagram, you name it. However, there is a message from law enforcement you might want to hear before you post those pictures online. Ian Russell has the details.
Definitely an exciting time. I remember my mom making me take all those pictures on our front porch to remember how I looked growing up. Well, law enforcement says that's totally fine to do, but when you start introducing info like your student's grade, their favorite teacher, and their school, well, that's when they say you should reconsider what you post. At the Conway County Sheriff's Office, it's that time of year.
It is an exciting time.
The first bell for many students rings on Monday, and Deputy Miranda Trafford is excited for every kid going back. That first day also means a busier time for her, though.
Safety on the road, safety online, safety within the school, making sure that everybody's accounted for and everybody's being safe.
And that safety doesn't just start when students get to school or even on their way there. It starts with what many parents do, post something like this.
We want parents to be cautious with the information that they put out there, because there are predators and there are schemes and there are thieves that are awaiting the opportunity to take advantage of people.
There's a lot of information on those boards. Trafford recommends most of it not being shared at all.
Yeah, I would put just my name, my first name, and I would put what I wanted to be when I grow up. The parents know the rest. Just redact what you don't want social media to have.
That could be things like what grade your student's in, their teacher, some of their favorite things, what school they go to, and some of those defining characteristics.
And that's just a lot of information to be putting out there to strangers.
The Conway County Sheriff's Office isn't the only one encouraging this. We found law enforcement agencies in Illinois and Oregon doing the same. It's also something the FBI is keeping an eye on. Besides keeping that information off social media, there's some online safety tips they recommend too. Those are things like updating all your devices and not clicking any link that seems suspicious. If someone is being exploited, the FBI wants you to report it. And back in Conway County, Trafford wants to make it clear, you can absolutely share those first day of school pictures. Just be smart when you do.
You can post the picture, you can use social media for your memories. Just don't put the school they're going to and how old they are and all that identifying things on there.
That deputy told me they haven't gotten any reports yet this year about people using that information to take advantage of anyone, but she says based on her experience, it wouldn't surprise her if it happens this week.
Can never be too careful. Ian, thank you. And now that you know how to safely take those pictures, put that knowledge to good use and enter Wake Up Central's Back to School Sweepstakes. We already had one winner this morning, looking to give out 4 more. We are giving away an Amazon Fire tablet every single morning. Now to enter, all you have to do is upload a picture of your child or children's first day of school. It's at thv11.com/pics. Now these pictures need to be from this particular school year. We'll be announcing one winner every day until Friday on Wake Up Central. Well, the Little Rock School District also has a new superintendent to start the school year. Dr. Jamal Wright has started year 1. Now, Dr. Wright was hired earlier this year and has a lot planned for the school district and this year. Now, one of the things he hopes to do in his new role is help bridge the gap between schools and the community.
When you look at our system as a whole, we have some of the best schools in the state, and we also have some schools that are nowhere near the best schools in the state. And so we need to bridge that gap. We just can't have pockets of excellence. Every single school in our district has got to be excellent. We've got to provide an excellent opportunity for all of the students, not just for some.
Now, Dr. Wright will be meeting with students and staff across the district all throughout this first day of school. Well, in the digital age, many parents are struggling with when a child is ready for a cell phone and how much they should spend on that cell phone and looking at all those screens. Now, the American Academy of Pediatrics is helping families create safe and healthy media habits. Stephanie Stahl has more.
Bennett Cox is busy with sports, so he hasn't been on his iPad much this summer.
I mostly play games because I can friend my friends and then we can play together.
His mom, Leslie, has been thinking about getting the 11-year-old a cell phone.
I'm a little nervous with social media, cyberbullying, things like that, but he's in a lot of sports and over friends' houses, and it might be easier for us to make plans if he had one.
The American Academy of Pediatrics and AT&T are launching tools to help families decide if kids are ready for a phone and help create safe, responsible media and technology use.
People have used like parent controls and other sort of monitoring technology, but that's not the only answer. A lot of it's going to be about saying to your kids, hey, show me your digital world. Show me what games you play or what YouTubers you follow, and have healthy conversations.
This questionnaire asks, does your child keep track of their things and whether you trust their judgment when you aren't there, to gauge if the family is in the ready zone or not yet. Parents can also build a customized media plan for the whole family.
What boundaries do you want to set around technology so kids can have healthy sleep, they can have undistracted homework time, whatever is important to your family, controlling tech and enjoying it, not feeling controlled by it.
Bennett thinks he is responsible enough for a cell phone.
I'll tell my mom if I'm watching something that's not good, because sometimes it just pops up.
The kids should be out playing, not sitting at home on the iPads or, doing social media stuff.
Leslie says it's best when kids can just be kids without screens. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Well, toy companies are starting to cut back on plastics. We'll take a look at the new ways some are packaging their toys after this break. Crowd.
A live look outside right now. It's been cloudy, it's been gloomy, and it's been very soggy for some. I'll have a full check of your forecast for the week ahead coming up.